Midland Junction Workshops, the birthplace of a new fleet of diesel-electric rail cars built for the Western Australian Government Railways. The cars are being put together by skilled Australian artisans. When completed, they will find their place as an auxiliary service catering for inland communities. The assembling of these cars calls for the expert services of a dozen trades. They are driven by electric motors, current for which is supplied by 140 horsepower diesel engines. 40 passengers can be seated in the car proper and 30 more in the trailer. Graceful in line, pleasing in colour, luxuriously upholstered and with plenty of speed, the new cars make a noteworthy contribution to Australia's transport fleet. As a finishing touch, the cars are given their final toilet of paint, varnish and enamel. In addition to its departmental number, each car will be named after one of the early governors of Western Australia. Here she is emerging from her workshop's chrysalis. This modern miss of the transport world looks like business, and the Commissioner of Railways hopes she lives up to her appearance. Like any other thoroughbred, the new car must have a properly balanced and regulated meals. The expert dietitian now takes a hand and feeds her a measured ration of fuel oil before she starts on her first run. Before being entrusted with full transport responsibilities, the cars must stand up to their tests. Passing successfully through all her mechanical examinations, this highly bred young lady is brought to the starting barrier at Perth Station for her first trial run. The Minister for Railways, Mr. F.C.L. Smith, and the Commissioner, Mr. J.A. Ellis, appear to have no misgivings about the future of their latest born. The honour of starting the car on its first journey falls to Mrs. Ellis, the wife of Western Australia's Commissioner of Railways. A firm pressure on the starting handle and the field got away to an excellent start. The lady certainly had a lot of us under her thumb that time. And now, if you don't mind, Mrs. Ellis, we will bring on the engineer in charge. A 12-mile journey brings us to the end of the suburban line. And from the opposite direction comes one of the old brigade, puffing her way along on her lawful occasion. The new car turns up her aristocratic nose as she flits past in all the glory of her resplendent appointments. Along a perfectly ballasted track, the Commissioner's guests experience a smooth, gliding run. Unlike the modern miss, the car shows supreme contempt for jazz. Ahead looms the first ramparts of the Darling Ranges. 60 years ago, the settlers from inland parts threaded their way through these hills in lumbering drays. The more fortunate, of course, dashed along in the stagecoach at a reckless 12 miles an hour gait. And now we accomplish in a few hours a journey which took a few days in those early times. Almost immediately, we start to climb from the flat country which nestles in the shadows of the first foothills. For the next 15 miles, we will be going up in the world. The track is a series of upgrades and curves interspersed with deep cuttings which level out many of the sharp rises and make our way easier. Hello, here's a tunnel. Well, things are certainly looking black just now, like the European situation. But even here, there is light ahead. Emerging into the sunshine, we face a natural proscenium of hills forming the entrance to Western Australia's great national park. Here is one of nature's playgrounds preserved for the people of the state. In springtime, this great tract of country is a kaleidoscope of wildflowers. Then a veritable carpet of myriad colours sweeps through the bushland. White gum, jarrah, and red gum trees clothe these hills, while in the gully bottoms, the noisy Jane Brook prattles over the stony bed towards the sea. This meandering stream has proved a costly attraction to the railway engineers. In her tortuous course, she crosses and recrosses the path of the railway, necessitating the building of expensive bridges over her undeniable right-of-way. These stiff gradients have provided admirable ground for testing purposes. But the new car's shortened stride provides the Commissioner's guests with an excellent opportunity to enjoy to the full the impressive scenery of these hills. Once over the knob, the vehicle gathers up her skirts for a dash of speed. The engineer sits coolly at his controls while the speedometer needle steadily mounts. Here is one man who hasn't any fear of speed cops. The new car seems to be impatient to reach the turning point of her young career. Unleashed from the barriers which held her back, she seems to revel in this downward dash. The automatic signals wave friendly arms to her in an assurance that the way's clear ahead. Her trial run has been designed to test her in speed, reliability, smooth running and general deportment. In every branch, she's been awarded full honours, and the right to take to the open road is now hers. With characteristic daintiness, she threads her way through a maze of suburban lines and glides smoothly into Perth Central Station. Journey end.